Hey everyone, it's Luna here. Welcome back to English with Luna. So, you clicked this video because you want to understand fast English, right? Maybe you're tired of watching a movie and thinking, wait, what did they just say? Or maybe someone talks to you in English and your brain just freezes. Don't worry, you're not alone. Even people who study for years feel lost when native speakers talk quickly. And it's not because your English is bad. It's because real English sounds nothing like textbook English. Let me tell you a story. Last summer, I was at a coffee shop in New York with a friend from Mexico. The waiter came over and said super fast, "Hey, how you doing? You guys good?" And my friend just smiled. She nodded like, yeah, but I could tell she didn't understand a single word. After he left, she whispered, "Luna, what language was that?" And I laughed because I knew that feeling. When English is fast, it sounds like one big blur. No spaces, no clear words, just sound. But here's the thing. You don't need to understand every word to understand English. You just need to train your ear to catch the rhythm and the patterns. That's exactly what we're doing today. In this episode, I'm going to share 5 listening techniques that will help you finally understand fast English without subtitles, without stress, and without saying, "Can you repeat that, please?" every 5 minutes. And don't worry, I'll speak slowly here, because learning to understand fast English actually starts with slow, deep listening. So think of this like a cozy chat. You and me sitting with your favorite drink, just talking about how to make English sound normal to your brain. And before we start, remember this. It's not about understanding faster, it's about listening smarter. All right, let's dive in. Our first technique is one of my favorites, and honestly, it can change the way you listen forever. Listen for feelings, not just words. Okay, now, here's something I've noticed a lot. Many English learners try to understand every single word, and I totally get it. You hear something and your brain wants to translate it right away, word by word by word. But here's the secret. Native speakers don't speak word by word. We speak in phrases, in groups of meaning. For example, imagine you hear someone say really fast, "Hey, do you want to grab some coffee?" To your ears, it might sound like one long, crazy word. "Hey, do you want to grab some coffee?" But in reality, it's just this. Do you want to grab some coffee? That's how we speak in real life. We connect words, we shorten sounds, because English isn't about perfect pronunciation, it's about flow. I remember once my cousin from Italy was visiting me in New York. We were walking through Central Park and this guy came up to us and said, "Yo, what's up, man? Long time no see." And my cousin looked at me like, did he just say "what soak, man?" It was hilarious, but also kinda sweet, because I realized when you're not used to hearing connected English, it sounds like noise. So if you want to understand fast English, stop listening for words and start listening for phrases. Don't try to catch every tiny word. Focus on the feeling of the sentence. Like when someone says, "How's it going?" They're not asking about your life story. They're just saying hi. Or when someone says, "Gotta run," they don't mean they're literally going to run. They just mean, "I have to go." Once your brain starts recognizing these little groups, English becomes so much easier. It's like your ears finally stop chasing each word and start dancing with the rhythm instead. Because English has a beat. And when you catch that beat, you don't just hear English, you feel it. So next time you listen to a song, a podcast, or even this episode, don't try to hear every word. Just relax. Let your ears notice the flow, the melody, the connection between sounds. That's how you go from "I can't follow" to "Hey, I actually understood that." All right, now let's talk about something that really changes the game. Context. If you're always trying to translate English in your head, you'll always be one step behind. You'll hear something, and your brain will go, "Okay, what does that mean in my language?" And by the time you finish thinking, the person is already saying something else. That's why, instead of translating, you have to learn to use context, to feel the situation, to guess what's happening from the tone, the mood, and the moment. Let me tell you what I mean. A few weeks ago, I was sitting in a little bakery downtown. You know, one of those cozy ones that smell like cinnamon and coffee. There was this couple next to me, and they were talking really fast, like New York fast. And across the table, I saw this tourist, a woman with a small notebook, trying so hard to understand them. She was staring at her phone, probably using Google Translate, but every time she looked down, she missed something. And I thought, oh, if she just looked up, she'd understand so much more. Because even if she didn't understand the words, she could read their faces, their laughter, their expressions, the tone of their voices. That is English too. It's not only about words, it's about energy. When you listen with context, you start to realize, oh, he's joking. Oh, she's surprised. Oh, that means she's leaving. You can feel the message, even when you don't catch every single word. Let's do a tiny example. Imagine you hear someone say, really fast, "Ugh, it's raining again." Even if you don't know the word ugh, you can hear that they're not happy. Their voice already tells you the meaning. That's the magic of context. When I teach friends or talk to people learning English, I always tell them, don't listen only with your ears. Listen with your eyes. Listen with your heart. Because when you connect emotionally, you understand naturally. Think about babies. They don't translate. They just listen, watch, and feel. And one day, boom, they understand. You can do the same. Let English surround you in podcasts, movies, daily life, and don't worry if you miss a few words. You're still learning. Your brain is connecting patterns and building meaning through context. So next time you hear someone talking super fast, don't panic. Just breathe, look around, and feel what's happening. Your brain will catch more than you think. Okay, now this one is simple, but it's honestly the most powerful thing you can do. If you want to understand fast English, you have to train your ear. Not once a week, not only when you feel motivated, but every single day. And don't worry, I'm not saying you need to study for hours. I mean little things, tiny moments that keep your brain connected to English even when you're tired, busy, or just chilling. For example, every morning when I make my coffee, I listen to something in another language, sometimes Spanish, sometimes French, not to study, just to listen. Even if I don't understand everything, my ear starts to get familiar with the sounds, the rhythm, the melody. And that's exactly what you should do with English. Put English in your background. Podcasts, songs, YouTube videos, whatever you like. Don't worry about catching every word. Just let your ear get used to the sound of English. Because understanding fast English isn't about memorizing, it's about recognizing. Your ear learns patterns over time. It's like when you hear your favorite song. You don't think about each word, you just feel the music. You can do the same with English. Listen while you're cooking. Listen while you're walking. Listen before bed. Even 5 or 10 minutes a day can make a huge difference. Let me tell you a quick story. A few months ago, a friend from Brazil told me, "Luna, I don't have time to practice." And I said, "Really? You have time to scroll Instagram for an hour, right?" She laughed and said, "Okay, you got me." So she started listening to short English clips every night while brushing her teeth. And after a few weeks, she messaged me and said, "Luna, I didn't even realize it, but I can understand people faster now." That's what happens when you train your ear. You don't always notice the progress, but your brain does. Quietly. Every day. So remember, you don't need a big plan or perfect focus. Just make English part of your day, even in small ways. Because the more your ears hear it, the faster your brain will recognize it. And one day, you'll listen to a fast conversation and think, "Wait, did I just understand all of that?" And yes, you did. All right, my friend, before we finish today's episode, I want to remind you of something really important. Learning to understand fast English takes time. It's not magic, it's music. You have to let your brain feel the rhythm, and that only happens when you enjoy the process. So please, don't stress if you don't understand everything yet. Don't compare yourself to other people, and definitely don't think, "Oh no, my English is terrible," because it's not. Every time you listen, even for a few minutes, you're training your brain. You're teaching your ears to recognize sounds and your mind to think in English naturally. And that's something to be proud of. I always say this, fluency isn't speed, it's comfort. If you can sit, listen, and feel calm while English is happening around you, you're already making real progress. You know, sometimes I walk through the city. New York is so noisy, full of people talking fast, taxis honking, coffee machines screaming, and I think, wow, English is alive. It's everywhere. It's not perfect, not clean, not slow, but it's real. And that's what I want you to feel too. So next time you listen to fast English in a podcast, a show, a song, don't panic. Don't give up. Just smile, take a deep breath, and think, okay, Luna told me to enjoy this. Because understanding English isn't a test, it's a connection. It's how you learn about people, stories, feelings, and life. So keep going, keep listening, and be proud of how far you've already come. And hey, if no one told you this today, I'm proud of you. Truly. Thanks for spending time with me today. If you liked this episode, you can listen again anytime, slowly, calmly, until your brain starts thinking in English without even trying. This was English with Luna. See you in the next episode, and remember, don't just learn English, feel it.